We go 1,000, we go 2,200, then we go back to the 1,000. So the back straight gets a lot of use for starting in the first 3 races. We have got Cheval Valiant at the top of the book, having his 3rd start at Happy Valley. Fairbo's a 3-time course and distance winner. Good View Glory is a horse having his 1st start. He's had the 3 trials. Atomic Energy, Happy Valley debut. Nice to be met. Where's Cheek Pieces? Handsome Rebel. He beat Fairbo last time he raced over the 1,000 here at the Valley. Fairbo went on to win a couple in a row following that. Modest Gentleman, the pacifiers go on. G1 Excellent is a last start winner, Nick. That was in Class 5, but gee, he showed plenty of pace up the straight that night.
He certainly did. This is obviously a bit tougher, however. Good pace. I think, look, 1,000-metre race, they're never going to hang around. And you've got a horse in here I think is very interesting, the top weight Cheval Valiant, who we know likes to lead down the straight. And as you mentioned, Mark, this will be his 3rd time coming to Happy Valley. So a different track, but he is a horse who does like to lead and he's well drawn. So he should certainly go forward for mine. Fairbo, he's also in a good draw in 2, has led in the past, 3 back noticeably. He did go forward. Fingers crossed. Handsome Rebel is another one who can race on the pace. He'll be a little bit wider though, Paul, because he's drawn in 10.
Yeah, you just need a bit of luck with Karras aboard there. Karras will have to try. I think he'll try and get outside Cheval Valiant, but he might just have to work a little bit to get there. Magic Supreme, we know he used to be a reliable leader, easy, but he's lost a bit of his speed as well. Good View Glory, he's the debutant. I think he'll probably be trying to find some cover midfield.
All right, so that's how the boys think a race number 3 will pan out as far as the map goes. Here is Cheval Valiant. Paul, Nick mentioned, interesting runner. No form at Happy Valley in 2 starts to date, but he's going a lot better now than perhaps he was when he had those 2 starts.
Yeah, so you can't say he's he's no good at the track because he's only had the 2 goes, as you say. He's been so consistent down the straight 1,000. Look, I didn't want to leave him out. I've included him in on a minor line.
Yeah, look, I think he can run well. And interesting, those 2 runs he did have, they were his 3rd and 4th starts, and he was racing without blinkers. All of his racing since has been with blinkers, and I just feel on this turning track, if he can get them stretching, they might struggle to peg him back.
All right, Nick, pretty keen on Cheval Valiant there. What about Fairbo? Nick, he was good enough to win 2 of his last 4. His last 2 over 1,200 metres, but those wins both the distance of Wednesday night's race, 1,000.
Yeah, look, he's done a pretty good job, hasn't he, Pierre, with this horse, and he's got a bit more weight to carry. He's got a senior jockey in Hugh Bowman riding over the apprentice Angus Chung last time, so a bit more weight to shoulder here, and he's just very consistent. Pierre's horses seem to run up consistently, runs of form, Paul, so I wouldn't put it past him to go well.
Yeah, look, he's had the 6 starts this season already. This will be 7th. So, look, I've included him as well. I think he's going to get a nice run just in by.
Oh, that's Fairbo. We move on to Nice to be Met, Paul. He's had the 2 starts, both at Sha Tin over the 1,200. Cheek Pieces go on. Wide draw of 12, but his trial at Happy Valley was very good. Yeah,
and look, you can see he gets back anyway. So another one was actually drawn wide, unfortunately for him. But you can see he'll be running on really strongly. I've definitely included him. I think he's getting there.
Yeah, I have likewise on a minor line. Look, I think his first 2 rounds, he's learning all the time. It's an experience thing with him. I know he's been short prices and he has been beaten, but I think coming here is very interesting with him. And I think that's key, Mark, is the fact that he has trialled well here.
All right, so that's Nice to be Met. G1 Excellent. Nick, what about some Class 5 form up in grade? We can get a bit of a guide on this because a number of the horses out of this race are going around in the first.
Yeah, notably Tronic Mighty, who he beat him by a neck on this occasion. He was well fancied. He was a 2.8 chance and got the job done. Look, he's 0 from 8 in the grade, so that's obviously a bit of a telling factor. He's got a bit more weight to carry here. Well, he's gone up in the weights, but obviously carrying a lighter weight for the grade. But look, I think he'll run okay.
The stable's going well, isn't it? We know they're in really good form at the moment, but 0 from 8 just was the sort of thing that put me off a little bit.
Here is Fingers Crossed, leading for home here, Paul. Now, his racing has largely been 1,200 metres, so he's dropping back to the 1,000. In fact, he's racing all but one has been over 1,200 metres, and you think the drop back in distance could be a key?
Like with this race here, look, he was still in front with 200 to go, and there's the 200-metre mark there. And look, he just got swamped late, this horse. He's had the 4 runs now. He's drawn nicely with Wagner Borders aboard from barrier 5. So I just think he's going to be in the right place. I think he could run a bit of a race.
Yeah, look, he's probably not the most forlorn of hopes, I don't think, at a bit of a price. There's certainly a case to be made for him.
I love your reasoning. Led to the 200-metre mark and it was back to the 1,000 this week.
That's not where the winning post is.
So he wins the race on that.
No, that wasn't the reasoning. But he's back to a sharper track as well. So what I'm basically saying was the stamina ran out late, didn't it? So I think he can win, fingers crossed. Nice to be met from the back. Fairbo and Cheval Valiant on the pace. 10-7, 2 and 1.
Yeah, top weight for me in this, Chevelle Valiant. Look, I think this race is interesting with him in it because he is a leader. I think he can perhaps get them chasing, and if he does, they might just struggle to peg him back. So the one on top, over the 11 G1 Excellent. Look, this is going to be tougher in this grade, but I thought it was quite a convincing win last time. Febo goes in for third. He's racing well and nice to be met. An interesting runner here. Happy Valley debut under race conditions. 1, 11, 2 and 7.
G1 Excellent early favourite to go back-to-back up in grade. He's come up at 4.5.